Yeah, let's talk about the division real quick. I want to give my day one first impressions. As you can see there near the end, me and Spar were having fun on a mission yesterday as a first impressions, just getting through the tutorial, just playing the bit of the game. I was like, yeah, this game's okay. It gives you this sense of basicness. It has the basic MMO kind of feel to it, like kind of just you're like you feel like you're just killing what do you call it, mobs, literally just like little bullet sponge mobs with one ability. You know how the feeling that the first MMO starts off, the first few levels, just like you have one ability, you're doing one thing, and this quests are super basic. It had that feeling. It's hard to describe because it's a shooter. Most shooters you play, it's some kind of action, it's a scripted event, or you're doing something, or there's a lot of like maybe there's a story event. Not here. It just felt very basic. So I wasn't that impressed after my first just like playing for a few hours last night. In fact, neither was Cody. We were talking like after work, and he's like, "I'm not. I don't even know if I want to play that game, to be honest." And I was like, "Yeah, well, maybe we should give it a chance." And then he's like, "All right, let's do it." But we weren't that excited to jump back into the game. And after doing a few missions, figuring out the crafting, um, you know, Cody had a few abilities there. I still don't have anything nice. So my character doesn't really feel much different other than the fact that I can put these things down. These things are pretty cool. I like them. And you can use them pretty tactically. However, there's like some little tactics we were learning. Like you can stealth basically up to enemies by creeping from building to building or object to object by pointing your character at another area and stealthing in. That actually adds a lot of tactics in the stealth, which was kind of it went over my head the first couple hours of playing the game. With all the there's not too much to play around with right now, but the level design, like as you saw in that last mission and leading up to that last mission, you're in the train yard and you're sneaking from box to box. There's lots of things to blow up, and it's all about timing and movement and positioning. It starts to feel a lot more like a Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six style game. It's like that slow moving shooter, moving from spot to spot, picking your flanks, picking your positions. And there are some tactics where if I rush in with the shield, they kind of focus on me, and Spar gets a chance to shoot them from the side. I didn't use it too much. I'm not a big fan of the shield, but I can see maybe it being a cool thing later on. But overall, like, it's still basic. I still go and I still say that everything feels basic, but I can see how they're layering it on slowly because there may not be a whole lot of options. We'll see as we get further on. As they slowly layer it on, they quickly layer on the level design, and the level design is what's really important here. The first missions, they just kind of felt like run and gun. Guys are here, just shoot them. Now they feel like they're coming from certain areas that are tactically thought out. You have to position yourself in good positions and move from position to position. Much better feel to things based off of the level design structure, because I still don't have a whole lot more tools to play with this time around. I just had to learn how to use my tools better, position myself better, play with my teammate smarter, and use the environment to our advantage. And all that stuff put together created a pretty fun gaming experience at the end of this play session. So today, it's a much better experience than it was yesterday. And so my first impressions, I was like, meh. It was kind of meh. And I'm still like, there's still certain things like the characters. They all look the same. There's like 5 choices of what you want to look like. There's not a lot of character customization. A lot of the enemy types are pretty much the same. They're pretty bland. Hopefully they switch it up a little bit more. But the graphics, everything about this game, like every time we advanced forward in the city a little bit more, I keep having to stop and just soak it up. Look at what you're seeing here. It's just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I can see that hopefully the missions are going to get a little bit more intense. The way they level design these areas is pretty good. It's all about positioning, and I like it. With more interesting mob types, more abilities later on, more dynamic levels with verticality, more positions, and then bringing in a third and fourth player, there's going to be some pretty cool micromanagement between the four people and some choices to make there. And I can see this turning out to be pretty fun. Gear-wise, I mean, yeah, it could use some improvements in the visual aspect. I mean, there are some apparel, but I'm not getting much. I just wish, like, when the armor changed the way the armor looked, and I wish the face mask would put a face mask on my guy. There should just be a button to toggle if you want to show it or hide it. And then apparel, I mean, they can have it, but it should just overwrite things. I like the way other games do it better. That's all. It's personal preference. I'm just not a big fan of, like, hey, I got these new cool, chest piece and I don't really see it. I get this mask and I don't really see it. I've noticed with a few of them, they kind of change color. They little differences. So hopefully, this is early stages of the game. Hopefully the gear starts to look a lot cooler later on. But it has potential. Certainly does. And this game can also be built upon. I mean, I'm looking at the character class. The abilities, there isn't, it's like 4 abilities for the medical, 4 for the tech, and 4 for security. However, it has these little modifications, but I don't know if you just like use this one and then this one and then this one and then you just use this one at the end, or if it adds them all together. We'll have to find out. But there also is talent points. Comparing this to something like Borderlands, it doesn't look like there's as much. If you think about all the classes, all the characters, and all the choices within those perk points and talent trees. So yeah, we'll see. And Ubisoft might always build upon this, so you never know. The core gameplay, it's basic but done well. And with you mix that into a realistic world, a realistic environment, a realistic setting, it offers some good gameplay. Me and Spar were certainly enjoying it in the end, and I know he's going to look forward to playing this with me tomorrow night. As a first day impressions, I give it my thumbs up. I certainly do. Actually, this is kind of like I only played for 2 hours yesterday. My first 2-hour impression, I was like, I give it a teetering sideways thumb. And that's basically because I'm really impressed by the graphics. If you don't like graphics, I would have been like thumbs down. After playing it, sinking it in another 2 hours, after 4 or 5 solid hours of playing, I give it a thumbs up as a day one review. Now if we play for another week and we're just kind of like, oh, it's more of the same, or none of these abilities are really changing the way the game plays, and it just dies out, well, I still feel like I got my gameplay's worth. And this is always something to come back and be like, show your friends, like, look at these graphics. Come in here and just kind of push your graphics card. It runs beautifully and it looks just gorgeous. So well done on this game. One reason I really like this game is me and Cody used to play like Rainbow Six back on like N64. We played it on like PC. We have some memories there. It's a good Tom Clancy title, and that's good for me because I hadn't played Rainbow Six yet, like any of the new ones. I haven't touched Splinter Cell. It's probably been about 5 years since I played a solid Tom Clancy's game. I went into this game knowing like I'm buying it to check out the graphics. I'm buying I'm buying an art reel, and hopefully I'll get some gameplay out of it. And I think I'm going to be playing this a little bit more. I'm going to be putting some more time into this and maxing out my character and at least doing all the main missions. Am I going to grind the end game? Maybe not. If the game is addictive, maybe yes. But by that time, I've already got my value's worth. So even if I play another 10, 20 missions, I feel like it's worth it. Especially once the abilities all come into fruition, and I have a couple other friends to play these missions with and see how our abilities work with each other. So I overall personally feel like the Division is worth it, and I'm not a big fan of third-person shooters. I'm not even the biggest fan of first-person shooters. I used to be, and I figured, hey, it's been a while, why don't we try this? For me, I'm enjoying it 100%, and I would recommend it. I would recommend it just to check out the graphics alone. Like, be like, dude, Go look at the city. Just walk around, enjoy it, soak it up. Man, is it ever gorgeous. I think it's honestly worth buying, even if you're not going to play through the game. Just if you're going to stroll around and look at stuff and, you know, see how some of the things react. Like, it's a work of art. It's a masterpiece. Look at this. The way certain things react. I think you can even chip away some of this stuff. Look at that. I can see a hole in it. I put a hole in the concrete. It's freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's incredible. That alone is worth the price of admission. I swear on it. I know if you're looking at the game or looking at videos or looking at streams, it might not look all that appealing. But if you have a friend that's willing to buy this game and you get to work out the tactics, maybe two friends or 2 or 3 friends, and you can get a 3 or 4 man team going, and you all have different abilities, and one guy's got a shield, one guy's got a heal, and whatever tech abilities you get later on, I think it's going to be really interesting. If you have a friend to play this game with, absolutely. If you haven't had a good co-op experience with a buddy in a while, I think this is a good one. You can fast travel to each other, you can play with each other fairly easily. It's not too hard to get together and play, and I've had a lot of frustrating times trying to play a co-op game with a friend, and oddly enough, this is the one. This is the one where I'm like, yes, this is a good co-op experience, and I actually didn't expect it to be. So I applaud you, Ubisoft, even though there have been issues so far. I'm willing to look past it because look at this snowflake engine. It's amazing. But you know what, Ubisoft? You gotta do something about these characters. Everybody in the game looks like me. So yeah, thumbs up, guys. Check out The Division. Thank you for watching. I'm Johnny5Alive. Be sure to tell me what you think about The Division down in the comments. Please like, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Well, it's good that you have a character that looks exactly like you. It's like they took your fucking face as a scan.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Does he look like me?
They could hear the clapping in this from the street.
That's kind of fucked up. I'm fucking dying. Just pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter.